What can I say? I couldn't pull off being on time 3 days in a row. That is so sad. But I actually, right up until about 25 minutes ago, I was considering canceling today, but obviously I decided not to. Hi, my name is Courtney, and I'm very passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself, but what the hell else are you going to do? Um, I gotta tell you guys, I really kind of flaked today. I fell. This is so embarrassing. I fell last night. I was going to do laundry and I went to put all my weight on my right leg to reach into the hamper, and my right leg just said, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that." It was so bizarre. I mean, it honestly, it was like I stepped into thin air. My leg just, I don't even know what to say. It just kind of gave out, and I went pitching forward. Fortunately, I had not emptied the laundry hamper yet, so I had a soft landing, but, with all my weird health issues, it was pretty jarring, and I didn't think I woke up, I'm like, "Wow, I'm really not that sore," so I immediately jumped on the meds because 'cause I'm not that dumb. Then I started to exercise this morning, I was like, "Oh, shoot, I am really sore," but I also had a better range of motion, so go figure. But anyway, yeah, I kind of flaked. So this is very last minute, but here are some reasons why you should declutter and purge. This information is from Psychology Today and thespruce.com. And this is on my mind because I did some decluttering this morning. I am a very cluttered person. I could sit here and offer you a ton of excuses for it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm very cluttered and it drives me crazy. Well, I spent some time this morning. A friend of mine called and I took advantage of the opportunity and I cleaned out my pajama drawer. My pajama drawers. Like I got chronic health issues. I have a freaking amazing collection of pajamas. I was actually a little embarrassed when when I was going through them this morning, but I did get rid of a couple of pair, only a couple, but still. Um, and it felt good because, of course, now everything looks a lot tidier and it's more organized. And I love that feeling. So it seemed like this was a good topic for today. So, 5 reasons why you should declutter and purge. Number 1, it's going to free up more mental space. As I'm looking around here, all this clutter, it's emotionally stifling. It's hard for you to think clearly. It's hard for you to be creative in a cluttered environment. And it's a constant stimulus because even though you think you're walking past it and ignoring it, there's part of your brain that says, wait a minute, what are you going to do about that? So it is, good grief, it's a stimulus. How can you relax when you're under constant stimulus? Another reason you need to declutter and purge is it's going to help, it's going to force you to recognize your tastes and to narrow your focus. I have a lot of just crazy, I love knickknacks. I love knickknacks and I have some really cool things that other people have given me. But you know what? Everything that comes into my house, I have an obligation to take care of it. I have to keep it clean. I've got to move it. I've got to dust it or however it's got to be cleaned. I have an obligation to that. And I will tell you that fact alone, once someone put it to me that way, I was like, oh crap. And now I look at knickknacks and I'll even say sometimes, wow, that's really cute. But I don't want to have to keep up after it. I don't want to have to worry about it. And as you can see, I like my stuff, but God, now I'm embarrassed saying that 'cause I got stuff everywhere. But you do have an obligation to your belongings. And if it doesn't make you happy, why are you keeping it? I used to have this little, and I'll be honest, I'm going to tell you this story, and I feel like a jerk even telling it because I still feel bad about this. My grandma gave me this little, I don't, it was so out of character for her, and I don't know, but she gave me this little glass cardinal, just very simple red glass cardinal. I have no idea why. Again, it's very out of character. I have a lot of incredibly beautiful handmade things from my grandmother. But she gave me this little cardinal and I toted that thing around the country for I don't know how long. And I never really I mean, it was just honestly, I would look at it like, okay, but why? Because it wasn't her taste, it wasn't my taste. It was just this kind of random gift. I sound so ungrateful, don't I? I don't mean to. Again, I have a lot of really cool stuff my grandma gave me, but for some reason, I got super emotionally attached to that damn cardinal. And it took me years to get rid of it because every time I would go to get rid of it, I would think, but grandma gave me that and she's gone. But you know what? If my grandma if my grandma could magically appear in my living room, you know what she would have said? "Why in the hell are you keeping it if it doesn't make you happy? If it's making you feel guilty, get it out of your space." Again, I still feel guilty because I like to keep all the things because I'm really sappy, sentimental. Um, but if you remember that you do have an obligation to everything that you bring in your house and adopt the policy of if it doesn't make you happy, get rid of it. That's going to help you become more decisive about things that you bring into your environment. Number three, this one's super obvious. It's easier to clean. Well, sure. If you don't have a bunch of crap laying around everywhere, it's going to be easier to. That would be a lot easier to clean if I didn't have all my stuff on it. But I like that stuff, so it's staying. Number four, it's liberating because it is going to free up your mind. You're going to get rid of that stimulus, that constant stimulus. It's going to be easier for you to think and to function and to, well, to move through your house. I mean, I know people, I get really down on myself about my clutter because in my opinion, it's very out of control. But I know plenty of people, and there's just little rabbit trails through their homes. Well, that's not liberating. That's very stifling environment. It's going to be easier to move through your space if you don't have if you have crap stacked everywhere, so you've got a little rabbit warren in there. And you know what? It feels so good to be in a nice, clean space. It really does. This final one I thought was really interesting. Decluttering is good for your waistline. What? Isn't that wild? But according to a joint US and Australian study, people in a cluttered environment tend to eat more. I think that's really interesting. So, great. Now what? Because if you're like me and you're really cluttered, this is a daunting task. Um, start small. Start like I started with my dresser. I still have to finish. I'll be honest. I have a couple more drawers I've got to do, but um, I made a lot of progress today. And especially since it wasn't like I planned to go in there. It was somebody called. So I wandered in there while I was on the phone and got it done. But start small. Your bathroom, perfect place to start because when you're in your living room or you're in your bedroom, you're going to run into things like the little glass cardinal that you just have emotional attachments to. Chances are there's nothing in your bathroom that you have an emotional attachment to. So it's going to be a lot easier to purge and declutter in there. So get your bathroom and its place. Get it as clean as you want it. And then just stand there and enjoy the hell out of how good it feels to stand in a clean, uncluttered environment where you don't have the constant stimulus screaming at you. Embrace that feeling. And then you're going to want to take that feeling and expand it out to other areas of your home. What do you do with all your stuff that you're getting rid of? Donate it. For the love of sanity, please don't run over unless you've talked to your sister and you know she wants that stuff. Don't take your clutter over to someone else's home and make it their problem. Take your unwanted items and go donate them. And a lot of things that I've gotten rid of over the years, that was always the thing that made me feel better about it because I do like to keep all the things because I am so damn sappy sentimental. But I've taken some really nice stuff down and donated it. And it makes me really happy to think of somebody who maybe can't afford to go out and buy themselves something brand new. They can go pick up something nice that makes them happy and they can bring it into their home and they can feel good about it. But yeah, don't make your clutter someone else's problem. But I had another point I was going to make and I don't know what it was. So I'm going to go real short today because like I said, I almost didn't do it. But I hope you all have a fantastic afternoon, and I will be back Friday about 11 o'clock.